This
so that
conference will now be recorded.
today agenda is more on TOSCA demo, so that I'll be giving a walkthrough on TOSCA tool, how this tool looks like, and how easily you can able to use do some automation on that tool. Okay, so that is the agenda for today's session, and I'm going to explain you what are the concepts which we are going to cover in our training sessions and how the training structure will looks like. So I'm just giving some brief, and if you have any questions or any clarifications on any automation testing or TOSCA, you can ask in the end of the session, or if you not able to understand anything which I'm trying to explain, you can stop me in between. Okay, so not a problem. Okay, coming to myself. Okay, myself Latish, and I have around 6+ years of experience on TOSCA automation, and I have certified on all the certifications provided by Tricentis. And currently, I'm working for one of the largest banking project, and I've been here in training for the last 3 years, doing the online training, as well as I used to do training in my company as well. Okay, so that's the introduction about myself. And if you guys wanted to introduce about yourself, I'm happy to listen. So feel free to ask anything. Okay, so if you guys wanted to introduce about yourself, you can introduce. Okay, am I audible, guys? First.
Yes.
Okay,
Hello.
super. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Hi, Latish. This is Himanshu.
Yep. Hi, Imogen.
Yeah. Hi. So probably the other people are in mute, I guess.
Yeah. So no worries. Maybe they can ask. They can talk in this inquiry session. Like whenever we complete this demo, right? We can cover
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yep. Thank you so much. And I hope I'll just go with the layman's perspective, which means we don't know anything on testing. Okay, so in that case, I'll just take this demonstration, guys, because one person might be experienced, one person know about that concept earlier. Okay, so think that we don't know anything. So from their point of time, I'll just start this session. Okay, cool. So you guys wanted to know about TOSCA automation tool, correct? So that's the reason you have joined here in this particular demo. So before you understand about what is this tool, you need to understand two things before. One is what is testing. Okay, testing in the sense what is software testing. So why we need to use software testing? Okay, is that the mandatory job we need to do it? So all these questionnaires you need to understand. Then you can jump into this TOSCA. So as a demo, so I'll just give in a high level. So first thing, you need to know about what is testing, correct? So by the name itself, it is telling testing, which means test is that we will do some testing, which is it's working fine or not, we will validate. I'll give you something. Hey, can you test this whether it is working fine or not? You will say, you will test that, and you will say, yeah, it's working fine. So I'll give you one pen. Can you test whether it is you're able to write it, and it is in blue color or black color or red color? So which means in software side also, okay, you are using an applications like Amazon, Flipkart, any website like Book My Show is also one of the website, right? So that we called as an application. So anything in software side, if you're using a website and if you're using any mobile application, that we call as an application. Okay, so I'm going to give you one application to you, saying that, hey, can you validate this application whether it is working fine or not? So that is called testing. Okay, and why testing is needed, why testing is mandatory? Okay, we have one product which is called Amazon. So Amazon is the one application which we have, which currently our team is working. Okay, and I wanted to buy one product from the Amazon site. Okay, I wanted to buy one product from the Amazon site. Maybe I'll just take iPhone 13. So iPhone 13 cost around 80,000 for one product, one quantity. Okay, so it is showing 80,000, and when I went to add to cart, when I went to pay the amount, it is showing 30,000. Okay, it is showing 30,000, correct? But actually it should show the same amount. Think that there is no coupon codes are applied, there is no offers are applied. By default 80,000 product, it is showing as a 30,000 when I went to purchase the product in the add to cart. So of course we are getting 50,000 minus, right, which means reduce. So I'm ready to buy it as soon as possible, so I'll buy it. So I'll inform to my friends, I'll inform to my colleagues also, correct? So then if 100 people buys the same product with the cost of 30,000, there would be huge loss to the Amazon people or huge loss to the vendor who is giving this particular iPhones, correct? Getting my point, what I'm trying to explain? So 80,000 product, it is
Yes.
coming for 30,000 rupees, which means 50,000 loss to a seller who is giving this product in the Amazon site. For one person it's a 50,000, and like that if 100 people use, you can see the difference in the amount, which means huge loss to the seller, huge loss to the reputation will go to the Amazon people, and going forward no one will go and buy, which means no one is going to ready to give this products to the Amazon. So they will go to the other vendors like Flipkart or Myntra, like that, correct? Because testing is mandatory here, you have to validate that application is working fine or not. So in this case, like 80,000 product is giving to 30,000, which is testing is not done properly. If the testing is done, they might have seen this in the testing phase itself. So if the testing phase is available, they might have seen it, they might have done some changes again with the development, so that they're going to fix it and they're going to give the quality product. If you don't do the testing, we are not going to get the quality product when we are using that. Okay, so that's the reason we need testing is the mandatory job in any software projects. Okay, so don't think that testing might be optional in some cases. No, testing is mandatory, guys. I hope you got an understand of what is testing, why testing is needed in IT projects. You got an idea?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Super. So now you got an idea about what is testing.
Yeah.
So
Basic idea.
now, yep. So now we wanted to know about TOSCA as an automation testing tool, right? We wanted to know about this, and in testing, where this TOSCA will be coming into picture. Okay, to be frank, there are two types of testing. One is manual testing and another one is automation testing. Okay, manual testing is like nothing but so I'm just going to give you some definition and I'm going to give you an explanation in a high level, but in detail explanation of manual testing and automation testing will be covered in the detail session, guys. As it today is a demo session, I just touched in a high level. So we have two types of testing, one is manual testing, another one is automation testing. So manual testing, the name itself it is telling, we performs the testing, which means humans will do the testing by sitting in front of the system, like how I'm telling to you guys, which means I'm telling in the live. So there might be some automated tools, they will be playing this. If you see the Udemy courses, right, it might be already recorded, correct? So manual testing is like nothing but humans will sit in front of the system and performs by seeing with their eyes, which means manually humans will be doing the testing. Whereas automation testing, tool will perform the testing. Going forward, like how I told you, right, 80,000 product, whether it is coming to as an 80,000 or 50,000, so humans will do the testing if I go for a manual testing. Whereas automation testing, for example, TOSCA will validate whether Latish has ordered iPhone 13 as 80,000 rupees. The same amount should be reflected in the when you went for a payment page also. So that validation will be taken care by tool. So we will not do anything, but we will give instruction to tool, because hey tool, you do this, do that. So that instructions we will be giving to TOSCA. Okay, so that is the difference. Humans perform the testing, tool performs the testing. So we are going to touch automation testing, and we wanted to learn TOSCA as an automation testing. Okay, clear? Roughly.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So one is the manual testing, another one is automation testing. So don't worry if you need more information and everything. We will discuss in the detailed sessions. That we have manual testing, 2 to 3 sessions will be discussed, and then we'll jump into automation testing. Okay. Now, so in automation testing, there are some advantages and there are something to do. But there are so many automation testing tools in the market. Okay, there are so many automation tools in the market. But why we wanted to choose Tosca? There might be some advantages which I'm going to explain you that. So Tricentis Tosca is the one of the automation testing tool, okay, and which automates end to end in the sense from starting to ending, whatever you wanted to validate, Tosca can support that. Okay, I'll give you an example. So we have two different applications. Basically, in any software projects, so we have one application. There might be some third-party application will be involved. So, like for example, I'll create a data. Like for example, I'll create an order number called 1234. Okay. So where this order number will be stored? There might be some database, right? Storage. Agree? Somewhere you need to store your data, so your applications might be use some database. So Tosca can automate those database as well, and so that you no need to worry about from starting to ending whether I can able to automate using Tosca. No, Tosca can automate, Tosca can support that. So if you see the advantages of using Tosca, it's a scriptless automation tool, which means you don't need to write any coding. Coding in the sense you don't need to learn Java, you don't need to learn C Sharp, you don't need to learn Python. It's not required for this tool to learn. Just humans can start using this tool, just going through this learnings as initial phase, which means trainings can taken care, and they can start using this tool. Okay, that's the biggest advantage of using this tool. And we use a drag and drop mechanism. So when I show you this demo, I'm going to explain you this drag and drop mechanism. And Tosca having the inbuilt framework. If you see other automation tools, right, we have to build that framework, either keyword driven, data driven, or functions. Everything we need to create when we go with Selenium and UFT. That itself, it will need minimum 20 days to create it. But Tosca, by default, Tricentis team is giving that. So I'm telling Tricentis. Tricentis is the company who built this application, which is called Tosca, in the year of 2007. In the 2007, this tool got released into the market. At initial phases, only few customers have started using it, and now you can see the market is spread or across all our regions. So all the companies, they're trying to switch from other automation tools to this automation tool because this tool has major advantages. And Tosca can automate 30 plus technologies. Technologies is like nothing but web-based is the one technology, .NET, I would say Java-based is the another technology, and databases is the one technology, APIs, Salesforce, SAPs, files, and like that 30 plus technologies Tosca can support, guys. Okay, and easy to learn and implement. So you don't need to spend a lot of time in Tosca learning. It's easy to learn. So these are the advantages of using Tosca when compared to other tools. I'll just show you one picture how this tool looks like in the field. You can see the left side, which I'm showing you here. Sorry, one second. So you can see the left side, which I'm showing you here, which is called model based approach, which is using Tosca. And the right side, you can see script based approach, which is using Selenium. So the left side is look and feel is good because I don't need to spend a lot of time understanding on this. Okay. So this is the one difference between model based and script based, because you don't need to write any coding. So left side, just it's like you're giving the instruction RD 200 5 years like that. Okay. And I'm just going to compare with the different automation tools, but if you're not aware of this automation tools, also not an issue. If you wanted to learn Selenium, you need to learn Java as a mandatory. If you wanted to learn EFT, and you have to learn VB scripting, because these two script these two coding knowledge you need as a mandatory if you wanted to learn these tools. And Tosca supports multi-technology, I said 30 plus technologies, but Selenium supports only web-based applications. Selenium will not automate the desktop-based application. Selenium will not automate the files, Excels, text files. That is not possible. UFT. UFT supports technologies, but it needs some third-party tools again. Okay, but the main advantage of using Tosca is dedicated support. Whenever you are having any issues, right, you have 24/7 chat support, or you can raise a ticket and they will get back you in 2 days. So 24/7 in India, Australia, and US and UK, there are different regions and people are working 24/7. And Selenium and UFT, there is not much support. You have to just Google it for your questions, and if you have any answers, if people might have answered, that was helpful. But Tosca, it's not like that. You will get proper support from Tricentis team itself. But one thing, Tosca is a licensed tool. We need to pay for this tool if you wanted to use it. But don't worry, for this training, and I'm going to help you on trial licenses for 2 months, which means I'm going to tell you how to activate the trial licenses with your IDs for 2 months, so that you can practice it and you can able to learn this tool as well. Okay, so this I explained. So MBTA is an inbuilt approach which is given, but Selenium and UFT, you need to build this tool. It will take minimum 20 days. That too, perfect skilled resources is mandatory if you wanted to build this framework, but for Tosca not required. And Tosca tool requires less investment and training. You can have 20 days or 25 days 1 hour sessions, that is enough. But if you wanted to go for Selenium in UFT, you need to spend 3 months or 4 months of time, because as a prerequisite you need to learn Java, you need to be perfect in Java, then you need to start learning Selenium. But for Tosca, no other coding, nothing is mandatory. Just start your manual testing for 1 or 2 days, then you start using automation tool using Tosca. Okay, so next I'm going to show you today the live demo. Just in Tosca we used to call as a sections. Okay, requirements, modules, test case design, test cases, execution, and reporting. So I'm just going to jump into Tosca, and before I'm going to jump into Tosca, if you have any questions or any clarifications or any queries, feel free to ask. I'll just make a stop for 1 minute.
Hi Latish, what is end-to-end testing?
End-to-end testing is like nothing but, if you see the example which I have given, so this is the one application, this is the another application. Like that, Tosca can automate all the application in one test case itself. So if you see the real-time examples or some other automation tools, right? So Tosca supports this, Tosca supports this, but other tools will not support automate this, so that you need to stop your automation till here only, which means again you need to do this validation manually. So using Tosca, you can automate end-to-end testing. So step 1 is this, step 2 is this, and step 3 might be some other application. So Tosca can support that as well in one flow itself. Okay, getting?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
3 different applications TOSCA can support in one test case itself. You don't need to create multiple test case. You don't need to stop your test case and do the validation, and again you create this. It will not. So TOSCA supports end-to-end testing.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. So if any questions, feel free to ask. Okay. If there is no questions, I'll just jump into TOSCA demo. So I'm just going to show you this tool. So this is the tool which is called TOSCA. So this is the automation tool, guys, and there is no code here. I'll just show you how easy this tool is, like nothing but. Okay, I'm going to show you one demo using this tool. What is that? So I'm going to take you this application. So what I'm going to do it, I'm going to try to log in, click on login link and enter the username and password and click on login. So what I'm going to do it first, I'm going to open this application, or I'm just going to click on login. So enter my email ID and enter my password and perform click on login. So these are the 2 steps which I'm going to do it from TOSCA. If I do this manually, which we call as a manual testing, correct? Now I'm going to ask TOSCA to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to ask TOSCA to do it. Okay. So simple. So I'm just going to explain you that logic, how I'm going to build this. Okay. So we have TOSCA here, and we have application here. I'm just putting somewhere picture. So this is TOSCA, this is application. Okay. So as a manual testing, we will go to this application and perform this click, correct? But as an automation testing, TOSCA will go to this application and performs click on this login link, correct? That is what the expectation which we wanted to do it in this demo, correct? So I'm going to show you that. But if I wanted to show you, the concept which I'm explaining right now, how this TOSCA will directly go to this application and performs this click. There should be some communication, right? There should be some settings to be done. If you take one example, if you guys wanted to have a demo, you can't have the demo without having the GoToMeeting details, correct? You need to enter your GoToMeeting and then you need to join the session. If without joining the sessions, it will not come to your WhatsApp, it will not come to your Gmail, because we are not sending, we are just sending the GoToMeeting ID to join the session. So there should be some communication. So GoToMeeting is the communication for us to have the demo and together in one session. But whereas in the TOSCA also, there should be some communication, how this TOSCA will interact with the application with the help of module section. So module section is the first step in TOSCA which you will do it, which you will do some automation. It's a starting step. So I'm going to show you how and what is the module section in TOSCA and what are the advantages of using module section. Okay, so that is the first step. So I'm here in the module section. So TOSCA has the module section to store the properties, to store the controls. Like that, I'm going to store you this control. So how I'm going to store this? Go to this TOSCA. I told you, right, TOSCA is not a script tool. It's a scriptless tool. We use scanning mechanism. Right click, there is an option called scan. There is an option called application. If you see, I told you TOSCA supports 30 plus technologies, right? API, mobile, PDF, command prompt, like that TOSCA supports. So I'm just going as application. So TOSCA will try to show you the controls which are available in this application. So it's starting the scan. You can see Tosca showing whatever the applications which are opened here. So I'm just selecting my application, click on scan. You can see the login here. The same thing I'm going to show you here, which means Tosca is going to do it. Nothing. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I just click on scan. So Tosca is giving all the control. I would say this is the control, this is the control, this is the control, this is the control. Getting? I'm saying like register is the one control, login is the one control. We used to say as a controls. So login is the control which I wanted to do it because Tosca has to click on this login link. So I need this control. I just click on select. Whatever is needed for you so that you can click on select. Sometimes you may sure that whether this control is this or not. You might in a dilemma. So we have an option called highlight selection to make sure that which control is this. So this control is this only. So my requirement is correct. So I have scanned the right control only. So my task is done for now. So I'll just click on save. What is the task which I did? I just click on scan and it's selected the one control which is called login. So I'll just close this. You can see when I go to this module section, one module got created automatically with one control called login. Okay, so if you see here, the module is the first step which you need to do it in Tosca, which means you need to store the controls. You're getting my point? You need to store the controls. So how to store the controls in Tosca? So I'm just going to show you this again. Scanning this, I'm just showing you right click. There is an option called scan. There is an option called application. Select this. So Tosca will take time, just few seconds to show list of applications opened in my desktop laptop. Which one you need to select? I need this. Either double click or click on scan. Okay. So what are the controls which I need? I need username, I need password, I need login button. So just search for this. So email ID is here, password is here, login button control is here. So I'll just select this. Password, email. I make sure there are two controls, right? I'll just use highlight selection. This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. So my requirement is completed. So I'll just save this. So module has saved successfully and you can close this. So either you can close from here or you can just right click. There is an option to close it. Okay. If you see, I have created two modules. The first module will have login link control. Second module will have username, password and login button. Okay. If you say I was telling links, button, text boxes, right? If you see when I put my house over, there would be some underscore which is called links. This one we called as a text box where you enter the data. This one we called as a buttons. If you see this one we called as a buttons. Okay, there might be, this is also links. There might be some, wait, I'll tell you, drop downs. This is the control. Okay, so like that there are some controls I'm going to show you in the explanation when I was trying to scan many controls. Okay, so if you see, this is the first step which we got created. Clear with the module creation? Any questions? Module is the first step and the mandatory step you need to create in Tosca. Without modules you can't do anything. Any questions, guys? So if you're clear with the module section, I'm going to jump into next section which we are going to use it. So I have created a modules and I stored the controls, but what is the expected behavior for us in this demo? Can anyone tell me what is the expected which I wanted to showcase you?
It should log in automatically.
Yes, it should automatically log in, which means I need to click on this and I need to enter the username and password. So that is what expectation, right? So with the help of module section, I'm going to create some test cases in test case section. Okay. So how to create a test case in Tosca? Okay. So either right click, there is an option called create test case, just create it and rename it. I'll just rename it as demo webshop login. Okay, but there should be some steps, right? So that also should be available. So what you do, just use the module, drag and drop it into your test case. What did I do? What Just drag, select this module and drag and drop it into your test case. Just only drag and drop mechanism. Okay, Tosca is having the drag and drop mechanism, converting the module into test step automatically. Okay, what is the first step which I wanted to do it from Tosca side? Click on login, right? So I'll use an action called click. Okay, so which means Tosca will perform click on this login link. So that is my first step. And what is the second step? I'll just go to this module, drag this module and drop it into a test case. So I'll just give my email ready. And I'll just give the instruction as well. So my second step is entering the email ID and entering the password and performs the click on log. Okay. So these are the two steps which.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes. Yes.
Hi Latish, sorry to interrupt. Just I have got it out. The password should be in secure mode. Just while you're just typing the password, I can see it. So we can have secure password. Like,
No, when you're entering, which means you are only the entering, right? So I'm just sharing because it's the screen. If you see, it's in the password field. So after entering, of course, it will be not be in a secure. I mean, it will be in a secure.
okay.
So when you are entering, of course, it will be like this. You to make sure that what data it has been entered.
Okay.
Okay. Now I have dragged these two modules and converted into two steps. So my test case is ready, so that I'm just going to click on login. I'm just going to enter the email address and password. Okay. So how Tosca, if you see this one also ready, which means test cases. So I have given the instruction. The test case section is used to provide your instructions, whether you need to click on the data, whether you need to enter the data, whether you need to validate, whether you need to store. All these instructions will be provided in the test case section. All the instructions will be provided in the test case section. So that is the use of test case section. Okay. Now, how Tosca can run this? So these are the steps. We have an option in test case section also. Right click, there is an option called run in Scratchbook. So I'm going to run this. If I click on run, I just removed my hand on the mouse. Tosca will try to run these two steps. First step is click on login link, and second step is entering the email address and password. Okay, so you can see it's in a green color, so that Tosca has entered the data properly. You can see two steps got successfully executed. Okay, so I have executed in test case section, but test case section execution is only for you. You to make sure that whatever you have written, it's working fine or not. So Clear with test case section, guys? So test case section is just to give your instruction and you can run your test case by your side whether it is working fine or not. Okay, any questions? So I'll just go to the next section, which is mandatory. So you have test case section, which we have given the instruction. And now we have one more section called execution. One second, guys. One second, guys. I'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. So we have two sections which I explained. One is module section and test case section. But the major thing is we have one more section called execution section. Why we will use execution section in the sense, there might be two reasons. One, you need to showcase your proof saying that you have executed successfully, because you have executed and TOSCA didn't show anything. You need to showcase to your manager and you need to showcase to your customers what percentage you have executed, whether it is passed or failed, right? So in test case section, you can't generate those kind of details, but in execution section, we can able to generate those kind of reports. So how I'm going to convert this test case to execution is like nothing but drag and drop. Drag your test case and drop it into your execution list. Okay, I'll just rename it. Okay, now what I'm going to do it, I'm going to execute the same thing in TOSCA in the execution section. Right click and run it. TOSCA is performing the entering the email address and password. Okay, you can see TOSCA has executed and it is stored in the time. Like that, I can run how many times I want. It will be stored in this way itself. Because automation is needed for every time, everyday execution. You can't run it in Scratchbook. Scratchbook is just to validate your script is working. Execution list is to store your results for a longer period. You can see I have executed 2 times in execution list. So all the details, timestamps, everything will be noted here. That's the main advantage of using execution, and is also one more advantage of using execution to generate a report, because TOSCA is a tool which is only accessible for a testing team, but you need to showcase a report to your managers or to your lead or your team members so that you have been executed this and this is the pass percentage. How? We have a report. How to generate a report? Right click, there is an option called print report and you can use any option. So I'll just use this option. So my report will be getting generated. You can generate in any format. So mostly we will use in PDF format. I'll just click on start. Give your test report version 1. So I just given the file name. So report is getting finished, generated is finished. So I'll just, it will open in PDF way. So created on 21st of August today. So all the details will be given from the tool itself. So tool is getting generated in this PDF way, so that how many test cases got executed, how many test cases got passed, how many test cases got failed, all these details will be provided here. So as of now, I just executed only one, so it is showing only one. So sum up chart also will be given here. If you have 50% failure, 50% pass, everything will be shown here. Okay, this how what are the test case names, everything will be detailedly shown. So this is enough for your lead or a manager to showcase whether how many test cases got executed, how many test cases got failed, how many test cases was not executed. Okay, and who was executed, when it got executed. So this report is mandatory to generate and to share it with your leads and managers and to your team members as well. Okay, so if you see here, all these three things together. First, you need to create a module. Without modules, you can't do anything. Once you create a module, you need to create a test case. Without test case, you can't run it in your execution list. Then you need to convert this test case into execution list. Then you need to be able to generate a report. So this is the flow which every project follows. And there are some more advanced features called test case design and test data services that we will be using in, I'm going to explain you in the real time situations and actual training. So this is what the tool supports. So Tosca is the scriptless tool and it follows the drag and drop mechanism. And we don't need to learn anything as a prerequisite if you wanted to learn this tool. Okay, so I'm just going to make a stop here. So which means the demo is done. So how this Tosca interacts to the application with this approach. Okay, 1 second, guys. Sorry for the delay, guys. I'm done for the today demo. If you have any questions, and you can ask me now. Actually, I got a call, so I just wanted to keep it as a hold. You guys are able to hear me, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Any questions, guys? Feel free to ask. I hope it is clear with your demo today. So it is easy to learn, and whatever I explained in the agenda.
And what will be the duration of the course?
It would be 25 hours sessions. I mean, I need 25 sessions minimum so that I can cover all the topics which has been available.
And you will take sessions in the weekends or weekdays?
Mostly on the weekdays. If you guys are okay, I'll take on Friday, Saturday also, not on Sundays.
Both Saturday and Sunday.
No, no, no. From Monday to Saturday.
Monday to Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
What is a framework?
In Tosca, right? It's a model-based test automation framework. It is given by default. If you see all the sections, which I have not done anything, so it will be given by default. Test case section, requirement section, all the sections which will be given by default. So that we call as a model-based test automation framework, like how we used to create a modules, drag and drop. That is part of framework.
Okay.
It is similar like RPA, right? Or there is a difference?
No, RPA will come. It's a difference. RPA is a different thing, right? Robotic process automation. But
Yeah.
this we do as part of a functionality validation before we release into the market. So RPA will come into picture after the data, after the application will be into the production. Like if you see Amazon application, you're able to access. So they will run the RPAs, which means they will run the RPA test cases.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions or queries or clarifications, guys, from your end? Okay. Silence means which you got to understand everything. No queries, right?
As of now, yes, it's bit, there are like what you said is something understandable. Probably if you see the video again or something, if you see the demo again, if you can share that with us, probably if we get any doubts, we can.
Sure, sure. I think you might have the Karthik number, right? So reach out to him so that he will share the recorded video drive link. Okay, so that you can go
Okay,
through that. So once you guys, maybe he will discuss with you all guys, so that once we are ready, so that we can start actual training sessions. Okay.
sure. Yep. Thank you, Latish.
Yep, yep. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask either Karthik or Karthik, so that he will reach out to me, so that I'll reply to you guys. Okay. If there is no questions, and can we wind up, or if I'll just wait for a couple of minutes. If you have any question, feel free to ask, so that I can clarify to you. Okay. Okay. Silence means which. Okay. You guys are clear. Okay. I think we can wind up for today's session, guys, and let's connect once you are ready, so that you can contact Karthik. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining today's session, guys, and have a nice
Yeah.
day.
Thank
Take
you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Latish.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye bye.
Latish.
Thank you.